Hi, I'm Lisa K. Donner along with Andrew Moran, Jeff Charles, James Fight, and Sarah Cowgill. And this is the Conservative Five, Liberty Nation's online TV news program. We all tend to laugh off the common phrases President Joe Biden uses every time he speaks, whether it's calling the Bill of Rights that thingy or trying to be one of the regular guys saying, "Come on, man." We're used to his rather bizarre speech patterns, but could it be there's more to Joe's verbal oddities than meets the eye? I so enjoy a good psychological unmasking, don't you? Okay, panel, it's not gone unnoticed that Mr. Biden tends to repeat the following phrases. "I'm not kidding. No joke. I'm serious here." Here's a little bit of audio that was aired on the No Agenda podcast. Introducing the clip is co-host John C. Dvorak. Let's take a listen for a moment.
I do have a setup that I got to mention. Nothing on this medley was repeated. So when Biden says not a joke, he actually said it twice, which he did a couple of times, by the way. And many times he says something three times. And when I do some of these, I will like sometimes put in, I will mess with. There's nothing but original material on here. There's nothing repeated. I didn't trick. I didn't add a horn. I didn't add a boing. This is straight up. So I just wanted to make that clear. So here we go.
But all kidding aside, those of you who travel abroad, not a joke, not a joke. I'm serious, heads of state. I give you my word as a Biden. I'm not a joke. Xi Jinping in China, who I know well. We don't agree on a lot of things. He's a bright and really tough guy. These guys actually are betting, I'm not joking, on autocracies. It really has, not a joke. Number one, my message is, let me finish the question. The answer, experts say, we know that this virus is in fact, it's going to be, we know why all the drugs approved are not temporarily approved, but permanently approved. Okay, to allay their fears, the various, that misinformation is going to kill people. Not a joke. Not a joke. I mean, come on. I'm being a wise guy now. So I shouldn't make fun of it. That's good. It's good. It's good that I'm feeling better about it. I'm not being a wise guy now. We will, in fact, reduce inflation. Reduce inflation. Reduce inflation. But it is, I sincerely mean this. Well, guess what? People stop working. People are coming back. And guess what? You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. It relates to what, in fact, is now needed because we're growing. Look, no, I'm not being facetious. I'm not being facetious. You had up to 20 Republicans sign a letter.
Wow. If I ever get to meet the President Biden, I will ask him to tell me a joke.
Oh, that's just really kind of one for the ages, isn't it, guys? Well, we have to go to our jokester first. I'm going to head straight to Andrew. Andrew, what do you? Well, let me do the setup first, okay? Because this doesn't make any sense unless I say
this is no joke.
Unless I tell you the scoop. So, experts suggest these phrases reveal a psychological pattern of internalized fear or being exposed as a fraud. And they call this the imposter syndrome. The president's verbal peculiarity is not an official psychiatric diagnosis, according to Psychology Today, but rather a manifestation of an unconscious personal behavior. Wow. Why would the leader of the free world think people don't take him seriously, Andrew?
Well, it reminds me of that Groucho Marx joke. I would never want to belong to any club that would have someone like me for a member. But that said, the imposter syndrome and all the components behind it, that can be applied universally to the entire political football field. Many politicians on both sides of the aisle, they're likely to fearful that they'll be exposed as frauds, since a great deal of them don't even possess any, ounce of original thought, original policy making. Look at Joe Biden's career. What original policy has he proposed in the last 40 to 50 years? The closest thing I can think of is that when he said he wanted to break up Iraq into 3 different pieces. Now, in defense of Joe Biden, he has a stuttering problem. Now, stutterers, they tend to use filler words when they try to complete a thought. So the or in his case, come on, man, or it's no joke, it's no joke. So he suffers from a stuttering problem, and it's very common for people to use this. But I will say one thing though, it's so funny how every time he talks about something serious, he always says it's no joke. So oh, my dog died. Oh, it's no joke. I'm serious. My dog died. So I find that comical.
Now, wait a minute, Jeff. Do you really buy that this is a whole stuttering issue, or there's a little more something psychological going on there?
Yeah, I'm hesitant to go the psychological route. I mean, because a lot of people talk like that. I mean, and if you look at how Trump talks, he's always saying, believe me. I'm not, he says some of the same things. And I wouldn't apply that to him either. I actually lean more towards the stuttering aspect of it, because Joe Biden is known to have a stuttering problem. And honestly, I don't see that Joe Biden is really lacking in confidence. I think he has a little bit more than he deserves.
No. It isn't that he's lacking in confidence. It's that he thinks he does lack confidence. You see, there's a difference. It's not what other people think of him. It's what he thinks of himself. That's the interesting part of it. Go ahead.
I don't even think he knows he's the president, let alone, is he lacking confidence for holding the job? And honestly, I don't know how anybody can listen to the guy. How does he, it's not stuttering when he can't say the Bill of Rights, the thingy. That's not stuttering. That's losing your mind.
Yeah, that's some of the worst gaffes he ever had. It didn't involve any stuttering whatsoever.
The thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think there is something deeper to this. Jim.
So I'll try to get through this with more or less a straight face. I can't help but be reminded of all the time it took for him to decide whether or not he was going to run for president. Remember when he finally announced it, we ran a story along the lines of Joe Biden finally figured out what we all already knew. So this whole imposter syndrome thing, I can't help but think that he's only, 40 years late to the show here. We've known since 88?
I can't believe so many of you are giving him a pass. Sarah, speak up.
I am not giving him a pass. I honestly think he doesn't have a clue. I don't think he's even based in reality anymore. And that's just my personal opinion. But the people are telling him what to do. I don't think he's comfortable being president. He doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know how to deliver a message. And if he says, I think, no, I know, I don't think I know. Dude, I can't, I agree that he believes he's, fallen into the wrong place at the wrong time. And I think he does feel like he is a fraud and an imposter. I think that should be obvious to pretty much everybody.
I think that what comes out of people's mouth is indicative of often what they think of themselves. And I think it's worth exploring when the person does it repeatedly and he's the president of the United States.
I mean, he's the freaking president. Who you got street creds here, buddy. So why do you have to just keep pounding it over and over and over and over?
See, since you're talking about Freud, he was the one who actually had an imposter syndrome. He admitted it. He said that he didn't deserve nearly as much attention from all of his work that he gained throughout the world. So he suffered from that too. So, but at least he admitted it. But also, I would add that his comment pretty much summarized the entire basis of U.S. politics and perhaps even this administration, because he wrote in his book, which is a great introduction to psychoanalysis, and I read about it. I read it in high school. It's called The General Introduction to Psychoanalysis. He said that from error to error, one discovers the entire truth. So from every president, you go from error to error or president to president, you discover that all these people are just frauds and crooks.
Oh, deep thoughts, Jeff. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, and I would say, here's the thing. The reason why I lean more towards it being a cognitive issue or stuttering more than confidence is because you don't run for president a billion times like he has and not have a level of confidence in yourself. And I said, I don't think his confidence is well placed, but he's run for office. He thinks he can do these things.
This has been a problem for 48 years. He has lied about everything. And if you're telling me
he's a politician, they all lie.
In an imposter syndrome. Okay, well, he's lied about a lot of things, that he was second in his class and he was at the bottom of his class and that he drove a truck. He never drove a truck. He sat in a truck.
Well, I think Joe Biden
a laundry list of things that tries to make him sound smarter, look better, plagiarize. he's like the worst person for taking credit for things he doesn't do. And if you can't tell me, or if you tell me that's not imposter fraud, then you're not looking deep enough.
I'm with you, girlfriend. Jim.
Whatever issues Biden suffers from, cognitive decline, the stutter that we all know about, imposter syndrome, and however those have changed over the years, from the very beginning of his political career, and I would assume before that, Joe Biden has suffered from a desperate need to be relevant. And I think that's what drives most of his untruths.
I agree. And I think, again, this isn't cognitive. This isn't disability related. This is psychologically related. And thank you.
Imposter syndrome, Jim.
Right. And thank you for those deep thoughts from Freud, Andrew. Anyway, folks, that's enough Biden malarkey for one day. I'm hoping, no joke here, that you literally have a great day. That's it for our Conservative 5 panel today. Check out our other C5 shows and segments on your favorite video platform, YouTube, Vimeo, Rumble. We're on them all. As well, Liberty Nation has its own Roku channel where you can see all of our TV productions. Thanks so much for tuning in. And remember, surf on over to libertynation.com. For Frank Diorio, our editor and post coordinator, and our executive producer, Sarah Cowgill, I'm Lisa K. Donner, editor-in-chief. This has been a production of libertynation.com, conservative news where truth matters.